Hello, I'm Craig Williams. I'm an EMS instructor at South Plains College. I've been an instructor at South Plains since 2007, either in a part-time position or full-time position. I'm also a graduate of South Plains College EMS program, and I've been a paramedic since 2003. Today I would like to present to you my Title V course redesign project and our interactive lesson plan program that we have created. A great ideas for teaching and teachers plan. So our objectives for this program was to, of course, improve kinesthetic and auditory processes in our program, where our students are taking what they're learning in class and hearing from lecture and taking that and applying it to real world application. We want to provide students with a hands-on approach to learning, getting them more hands-on, again, with what they're learning in class and being able to apply that to real-world scenarios. Give the students the opportunity to apply lecture to real-world applications. Once again, we have learned over the years that by taking what they've heard in class and what we've taught them and what we've demonstrated to them and applying it to a real patient scenario or whatever the case may be, that it really helps with their learning. We improve cognitive understanding of information provided, so that way they have a better understanding of why and how we do things. Increase recall information during our formative and summative testings. Ultimately, our goal is to produce good graduates that are ready to go to work, and by making sure they completely are able to recall the information both in formative and summative testing, it allows them that recall ability once they get out in the field and become healthcare practitioners. And also, we hope to improve our testing scores on our National Registry examinations. This is our national licensing examination that is required by the state in order to get your Texas Emergency Medical Technician licensure. So under these objectives we have set up, we have broken it down into kinesthetic and auditory. So by developing our kinesthetic and auditory learning domains, we hope that, again, we can take lessons that were presented in class and allow them to apply that to a hands-on practicum. We will use a theory called C1, Do One, Teach One. And what we do with this is exactly that. The first phase of this, in the C1, the students will be given a lecture over proper report writing. So I will go over a report with them, explaining them how it should be written. I will have a pre-written scenario with all the information needed to write a good report. And as a class, working with me, they will go through and write this report as an interactive course. We'll give them examples of both good and bad reports. That way they can see what qualifies as a good, informative, reliable patient care report, as well as a bad report. And then, of course, with the example scenarios, the students will work through writing a report with the instructor, again, as myself or whoever's teaching, and we will talk through it and do it both as a group and class exercise. Under the Do One title, they will be given pre-written scenarios again, all the information from dispatch time all the way through to patient care handoff at the hospital, all the information they would need to write that report. With this, the students will get on a program we use called FISDAP. This is our report writing system that we use for our students to document their patient care reports. In this, before they start doing clinicals, they must write 4 standard patient care reports, as well as 4 patient refusal reports. In this, they will demonstrate the ability to properly document a report using the SOAP method, subjective, objective, action, and plan is what SOAP stands for, and proper documentation, as well as making sure they cover all the legal requirements in things such as refusals, with the 4 patient refusals. Of course, report writing being a very high liability area in EMS, we want to make sure that they completely understand the importance of their documentation. By letting them practice these prior to going to clinicals, when they start their clinicals, we hope they will have a better understanding of being able to write those good, effective reports. And then, of course, like I said, they will use the FISDAP report writing program to complete this assignment. Here's just an example of a report from Boston EMS, kind of how they look. And we will show these students several different types of reports, both electronic PCRs and paper PCRs, so that they have an understanding, because one service may not use electronic and they may be doing paper. Under the Teach One topic, the students will peer review reports from the class. So after they've turned in their 4 refusals and 4 patient care reports, I will pull random reports from there and have the students review these as a group and have them explain whether or not the SOAP method was done, the proper approaches to the SOAP method, and then essentially critique these reports as a group. This will be a constructive criticism, for lack of a better term, type presentation where we will just point out the good and bad. They will also participate in an EMS case review. We will either go to a case review with UMC EMS, one of their monthly case reviews, or someone from UMC EMS is going to come out and present actual cases from the EMS field, and we will review over those in a peer review, medical director review type system, where they can see how that process works, the quality improvement and quality assessment program. Then in the last of this, we will take some of the reports from the students' reporting system, and we will put on a mock trial in the classroom with the students. This will allow us to show them how important their report can be, not only for patient care, but in the case of such as an assault or a negligence claim or insurance claims or anything like that. The information that they write in that report is vital to them. Kind of the old rule, if it wasn't written, it didn't happen, and your case may not go to trial for 2 or 3 years after the patient was transported, so good documentation helps with that. And we will give them an idea of that and an experience of that they would not get under normal situations. So again, they will teach one, then they will take part in the case review, and then of course we will do the mock trial. In the hands-on learning objective here, through the repeated use of the FISDAP program, we hope that the students will improve on the report writing skills and develop that basic solid foundation of good report writing, so that they have fewer potential problems later on in their career. We will be using a website through the TEACS service, which is the Texas Engineering and Extension Services out of Texas A&M. They have several online free classes that students can take, and one of them that we will be using in this program, in this class, will be mass casualty incidents and CBRNE, or terrorist event trainings. And what they do is these are computer-generated scenarios where the students have to interact with the program and make the proper decisions concerning this mass casualty incident in order to pass the class. It gives them, again, through web-based teaching, an opportunity to take the information from the classroom and apply it to a real-world scenario. Excuse me. They will also participate in a tabletop exercise. We will have somebody come in to assist us with teaching. We will give them a mass casualty scenario. They will, at that point, we'll give them the scenario, whether it be a bombing, a terrorist event, a chemical release, whatever the case may be. We will sit down as a group, talk about the different branches of the mass casualty incident that need to be set up, the National Incident Command System, and break up the students into groups, whether it be command, triage, treatment, or transport units, and these students will explain what their job is in each one of those. We will have that tabletop discussion, going back and forth about the different job roles and what needs to be done and how things need to be assessed. And we will go in depth also covering the START triage system. The START triage is a system we use to identify patients in the most immediate need of care on a mass casualty incident so that patients are sorted and sent to the proper facilities in the appropriate amount of time. Hopefully with all of this will increase their understanding of that. Increasing recall by using these web-based tools. We hope that the students get multiple opportunities to apply, again, this classroom knowledge to real-world scenarios and hands-on applications. This will hopefully help that information absorb in better and help them recall that information when it comes time to testing. There has been many cases and many studies shown that taking something you learn in a classroom, something you have been taught through lecture, and applying it to a scenario or to something that's hands-on helps increase that recall ability and understanding. We hope to increase our pass rates on here as well. The National Registry Examinations is divided into 5 content areas: airway, cardiology, medical, trauma, and operations. Of these, operations and medical, of course, on the national average, those seem to be the 2 subcategories that are most failed in the National Registry Examinations. So I kind of focused my project on those 2 areas, but actually ended up, before they asked us to do, I ended up creating 6 interactive lesson plans over 5 different categories so that we can kind of emphasize that in all of them. By implementing these new lesson plans, we hope that we increase the pass rates, of course, for National Registry Examinations and the overall student success. We also hope to create students and graduates that are more job ready. When they get out, they're a little more comfortable doing some of these things, such as report writing or an MCI or whatever the case may be, and they take less retraining or refresher training when they go to their employer and get a job. We hope that through this interactive lesson plan and through this program that we have developed, that we just essentially create a better, well-rounded student for our future healthcare providers. In summary, I would like to say that this has been a great adventure for us in this program and setting this up. We actually started out just with trying to do the bare minimum, and because we had liked the idea so much, we expanded it on a very larger scale than what we initially intended. Thank you for your time.